They called me a drug addict. They told everyone I was unstable. I'd lost my friends, my reputation, and even had the police raiding my house. All because one guy wanted to win a high school election. But when I found out where he planned to go to college, I made sure his dream future turned to ashes. If you've ever tasted that sweet moment when karma finally hits back, then you're going to love this story. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tell me in the comments the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen. Because today, we're diving into a story where justice wasn't just served, it was earned. I was 18 in my junior year of high school, and at that point in my life, I was holding on by a thread. I had just come back from something most teenagers never experience, stay in a mental hospital, because I had tried to take my own life. I'd lost one of the only family members who truly accepted me for being gay, and the grief was unbearable. Combine that with the constant bullying that came with being openly gay in Oklahoma, and the weight of it all crushed me. Theater was my lifeline, my one extracurricular. The stage was where I found belonging, and my theater director well. Outside of the productions themselves, she treated me almost like the mom I never had. At least that's what I thought. During shows, she tore us down, telling us how worthless we were. Still, it was better than nothing. When I came back from the hospital, I was medicated, more stable, and determined to finish high school. I had a goal, a dream I'd chased since freshman year. See, I had spent my entire high school career trying to become president of the drama club. I was the only one in my grade to be inducted as a thespian my freshman year. I was involved in every production, every fundraiser, every rehearsal. Everyone expected me to be the next president. When election season came around, I was ready. Confident, even. But then the votes came in, and I lost. At first, I thought, okay, it hurts. But maybe I can accept it. Maybe Ben, the guy who won, just had more support. But then I found out the truth. Ben had been whispering poison behind my back, told people I wasn't fit to lead, that I was unstable, that the reason I had been in the hospital wasn't because of grief, it was because I was a drug addict. A drug addict. I had never touched a single drug in my life, not once. Thanks to his lies, the rumor spread like wildfire. When I went to my theater teacher, the one I thought cared about me, Shay, didn't defend me. She didn't even question the rumors. Instead, she shrugged and said, "Everyone has a right to free speech." And then, twisting the knife deeper, she said maybe I shouldn't have reached out for help in the first place. That maybe if I had just kept it to myself, none of this would have happened, and I wouldn't have lost the election. Can you imagine hearing that? After nearly ending your life, after clawing your way back to stability, it didn't stop there. Because once a rumor like that takes hold, it snowballs. The police showed up at my school. They raided my locker, my car, even my house. They busted down my family's front door. My parents thought I was on meth. Meth. They looked at me like they didn't even know me anymore. Everywhere I went, people whispered, pointed. A known drug dealer jumped me in the parking lot of my work, convinced I had something to sell. I almost lost my job, the one thing keeping me financially afloat, because of a lie. All because one guy wanted to win a stupid high school election, and he won. I was furious, betrayed, humiliated, and yet, as angry as I was, I felt powerless. But then, something shifted. See, when you're at your lowest, sometimes that's when the clearest ideas come to you. And as I sat there, scrolling through social media, I saw Ben bragging about his future. He had applied to several colleges, mostly liberal arts programs, and even secured thousands of dollars in scholarship money. His whole future looked bright, and that's when it hit me. He had taken away my reputation, my safety, my peace, but maybe I could take away his future. So I started digging. I looked up the top 10 schools Ben had applied to. I found out where he'd been accepted. I gathered everything: screenshots, posts, text messages, all the proof of the lies he spread about me, the accusations of drug abuse, the casual, cruel, the way he weaponized my mental health. And then I wrote emails, polite, professional, but packed with evidence. I explained that this student, this scholarship recipient, this incoming freshman had built his success on slander. He had harassed me, spread lies about mental illness and drug abuse, and even triggered police investigations with his actions. I didn't need to exaggerate. The screenshots spoke for themselves, and then I sent them to every single college on his list. The waiting nearly killed me. Colleges don't move fast, and it took weeks, months for them to confirm that the screenshots weren't doctored. Every day I wondered if maybe I'd gone too far, if maybe no one would care. But then the replies started rolling in. One by one, the colleges rescinded their offers. Scholarships were pulled. Acceptance letters withdrawn. Deadlines for new applications had already passed. By the time the dust settled, Ben, the golden boy who had stolen the presidency from me with lies, had nothing. No college, no scholarships, no bright future waiting for him. Word got around fast. His mom, a special ed teacher, was devastated. She told him that once he turned 18, he'd have to move out. He had no plan, no money, no safety net, and me. I won't lie. First, I felt a pang of guilt. Hearing that his own mother had given up on him made me pause. For a second, I wondered if I had gone too far. But then I remembered the raids, the whispers, the look in my parents' eyes when they thought their son was a junkie, the fists in the parking lot. And I realized I didn't ruin his life. He did. I just made sure the truth caught up with him. Because here's the thing. Making fun of someone's mental health, lying about addiction, using those lies to climb a social ladder, it's not just free speech. That's cruelty. Sabotage. And sometimes, sabotage comes back around. When Ben finally realized what had happened, he stopped showing up at drama club. His bragging on social media went silent. People whispered about him now, the boy who had it all lined up, only to lose it all in one brutal sweep.